Hi guys, this is Frostia. Welcome to my first video. In this video I want to share about my first week into programming, but before that I just want to share with you the purpose of why I'm doing this video. So the purpose of this video is actually to document my programming learning journey, my struggles, and what I learned along the way as a complete beginner. Now I will make a lot of mistakes in this journey, so I figured why not I just record them down, so in the future when I'm able to move to the pro level, I can look back and help people who just started out, from zero, just like I do today. So let's dive into the content. Now, I want to share with you why do I want to start learning programming in the first place. It's because reason number one, I want to be able to work from home. My mom used to work from home. She's in the accounting field. She bring all her work back home, and she works at home since I was a kid, and I want to be able to do the same thing for my children in the future. I don't have a children yet, but I'm planning to get married within these 2 years, and I will have children soon. So I think it's a cool thing to be able to work from home and take care of my children at home. And one more thing is that time flies and my parents are getting older, so I'm not sure if they really need me to be there to take care of them, when they get older. But if they need me, I wish I can be there for them. So the kids and the parents are the main reason why I want to be able to work from home. And currently, reason number two is that currently I'm looking for a career switch. I'm in the estate planning field, and I plan to switch my career into something maybe more suitable to me. I think programming is a good choice. And reason number three is that I think programming is something really cool because it allows me to create things, to create creative works, and that is beneficial to me and people around me. Okay, so that is these three reasons makes me want to learn programming. So which programming language should I learn first is the first question I have when I first think of want to jump into the programming field. So I asked my brother, my most trusted person, because he's from the IT background. Last time I asked him, he told me he's a DevOps team leader right now, and I have no idea what is DevOps means even until now. But I know he's from IT background and he's good with computers. So I asked for his advice, and he recommended me go for Python. I asked why Python, and he told me that the main two reasons to choose Python is because it is easy to learn, especially for beginners. It is more human, according to him. He said Python is more human. And then another reason is that Python, the skills is in demand, which means there's a job market for it. If I'm able to master Python, I will be able to secure a job, you know, and to fulfill my dream to work from home. So the next question is, okay, so now I want to learn Python, and where can I start learning this, Python programming language? Well, I want to dive right into it. I want to start learning Python, and I have no good sources, because I'm complete beginner. So I decided I just go to YouTube and find as many resources as I can, and I found one. It's called Free Code Camp. So Free Code Camp, there are tons of learning material about Python in it, but the problem with with this Free Code Camp is that there are actually a few paths you can choose. You can choose from. For example, there's scientific computing with Python, there's machine learning with Python, and there's a data analysis with Python. So my question is, which one should I go for? Scientific computing and data analysis sounds a little bit dry and boring for me, and machine learning sounds cool. So I decided at the end I just want to go with machine learning with Python. But unfortunately, I dropped Python after diving into it for just 1 week. I couldn't finish the second lesson. Throughout the first and second lesson, I've completely no idea what the instructor is talking about, and this gives rise to a lot of self-doubt. I highly doubt, this is the path that I really want, or this is the path that really suits me. So I decided to stop. No, I shouldn't just jump into any programming language like that. I should go on and do some research and explore, you know, how to pick a programming language, and find out what programming language I should really learn. So after some exploration, I able to come up with some basic idea on how to pick a programming language. Okay, so we should okay I should choose the programming language that actually match my need. Okay, because different programming language has different function or different field. So for example, Python, this programming language is more towards machine learning and AI. And JavaScript, another programming language, is more towards the web development, web application, and things like that. And Python is more towards the back end, which means I think it's the data compilations, data analysis, data computation, things like that. While JavaScript is more towards the front end, like we're using the browser, what we can see, what we can click, the colors, the functions that we can see at the front. But it can also be used for the back end as well with the Node.js. Okay, now for now I've completely no idea still what is Node.js. I think it is a tool or software or an engine, something like that, that allows you to use JavaScript, the same language, to create or to do the back end work. So with JavaScript you can do the front end, and JavaScript through this Node.js tool you can do the back end work as well. So I think this is pretty cool because with one language you can do the front end and the back end work. Okay, so why did I switch course to JavaScript? There are three reasons. Number one is because I think web development path is more suitable for me, because I want to build websites, build web application, and I want to do something, I want to create something web application related to productivity in the future. And then the last reason is that JavaScript can be front end and back end. So if I learn JavaScript, I can become a full stack developer. I can do both the front end and the back end, and it sounds really cool for me. This might not be the correct mindset, but for now I just think it is cool. I do not know what's the pros and cons of becoming a front end, back end, or a full stack developer, but I just think that it opens up more options for me, and I think it's cool. Okay, so now I decided to switch course to JavaScript. The next question will be, where should I go and start learning this JavaScript? So I decided I should go back to FreeCodeCamp and start learning JavaScript there. And unlike Python, there are a few paths, which has a few paths. JavaScript, they only have one path in the FreeCodeCamp, and which you can choose from. It's called JavaScript Algorithms and Data Structures. It includes all the basics JavaScript lessons you need to know, the fundamentals ones, and also other related topics like debugging and I couldn't remember, and data structures and things like that. So these topics are well arranged, so I just need to go through the course step by step, lessons by lessons, and that's it. It's not a complicated learning process. I like it very simple. So when I use this FreeCodeCamp, is there any challenge? Yes, I do face a few challenges. Number one, the curriculum is text based, so I have to read the code and read the text to understand how the code works, and I have to, and when it's text based, it's gonna be a little bit complicated, because when it comes to the nested code, it's something like a code within another code. So if you're a newbie, it is very hard for you to understand the whole chunk of code together. You have to think a lot, think by yourself. This group of codes belongs together and it's being wrapped in another code, right? You have to analyze by yourself, so it's gonna be a bit challenging. It's a bit challenging for me. And then for FreeCodeCamp, at the end of each lesson they will have an exercise for you, so you can complete the exercise by using their built-in code editor. So on the left side they give you the examples, the knowledge, and on the right side they give you the built-in code editor, so you can type out the code on the right side and submit your answer to complete the exercise for the lesson. But to be very honest with you, there are many times I couldn't even understand what the question wants, and I cannot clear the exercise by myself. So I have to rely on the hints. They give hints and answers, so I have to rely on them to actually, pass the lessons. So, I do not want to just go through the lesson that way. So even when I cannot answer the exercise well by myself, I would just, look at the answer, but I would make sure that I understand the answer as much as I can before I move on. That's the best I can do. So that's how I learned from FreeCodeCamp. One more thing about FreeCodeCamp is that later on I found that actually they have independent video course on YouTube that teach JavaScript. So the learning materials in the video course are exactly the same as the text-based course on the freecodecamp.com, and they are totally the same, but then it is in the video mode. You can find them on YouTube, and to me the video course is much more easier to follow because the instructor, he will actually highlight the chunk of code which wrap inside another chunk of code for you, so you can know how the whole thing works, because this will help to break things down, and it makes it much more easier for noob to visualize the whole thing, to understand the whole complicated code, you know. And then the video course actually teaches more, the instructor actually shares more, and also shows you the flow of how to understand the question, how to think, and how to derive the solution for that. He also write the code in front of you, so you can understand how should you write a code properly. So to me, the video course which teach exactly the same thing, it's much better than the text-based learning path. So the learning experience is much better. So if you stuck with the text-based curriculum, maybe you can search for this video-based. You just search for JavaScript full course FreeCodeCamp, and you'll be able to find it. And you can follow the video course instead of follow the text-based one. And another challenge that I faced when using FreeCodeCamp is that the examples given in FreeCodeCamp are very limited. Sometimes they just give you one example, and sometimes they give two. So let's say they just give one example and you do not understand the example, then it's going to be hard for you to grasp the concept. Okay, so another thing is that when they teach the lesson in FreeCodeCamp, often they do not share with you how this lesson or the thing you are learning can be applied in real life. So there are a lot of times I have completely no idea why I'm learning them, and I have completely no idea how to apply them in real life. But I think that's just part of the learning journey. In the future, when I start to build projects, I will automatically learn how to apply this knowledge in real life. Okay, but in conclusion, in general, I would say FreeCodeCamp is super awesome resources to learn JavaScript, especially for beginners. I have no complaint for it, although I think there's some sectors that can improve on, but I think FreeCodeCamp is awesome in general, and it's free. So like I said, nothing else to complain, right? So this basically sum up my first week of learning programming. I start learning programming because I want to work from home mainly, and I started actually with Python. And then in middle of the end of the first week, I switched to JavaScript, and now I'm still learning from the FreeCodeCamp about JavaScript. So this is my first week of learning programming. As I said, I'm a complete beginner, so I couldn't offer any good advice about programming at this stage on this channel, because what I think is right could be dead wrong when I look back from the future. So again, this is not a programming tips channel. I just want to document my journey and share my journey with you. If you are just starting out like me and you feel struggling, then at least you know that you're not alone. It is a norm, and I'm with you on the same journey. So all the best to both of us. So if you're interested to learn to follow my journey, remember to subscribe to my channel, and I see you in the next video, and all the best in your programming learning journey as well.